Hello everybody, welcome to Alex Does LeetCode, where we do programming live on stream. Let me just check to make sure the audio is good. Okay, perfect. It looks pretty good. Alright, we're good to go. So today we're gonna do our I think this is the first time I'm tackling a weekly contest. Yeah, sorry, adjusting the echo deck there. This is the first time we're going to do a weekly contest. Normally, we do bi-weekly contests. I think the weekly contests are a little bit easier. The time is very different though, so I'm not sure if people are going to be logged in yeah, I'm not sure if people are going to be logged into the right time. Well, anyway, the way you join the contest for people who are not here yet is simply go to LeetCode.com, look for their weekly contest. So weekly contest 380, this is the one that we're dealing with. Click on that. You will have to register. So go all the way down to register. I've already registered, but there's a big red register button here. You don't actually have to give them your employment information, but if you're interested in getting a job, then sure, go ahead and give them your employment information. Once you're done that, wait until the allotted time and we will start the contest. We have 6 more minutes to go before the contest begins. There's no one in the chat room right now. Hopefully, people start streaming in once the contest starts. Okay, as usual, if you like my content, like and subscribe. Hello, everybody. If you, as usual, you like my content, please like and subscribe. This helps a lot, especially for small YouTube content creators like myself. Okay, so we have 4 more minutes until the contest starts. Once again, that's just as a reminder, we do not discuss answers live on stream. So I will not be giving any answers live on stream. I will not be allowing people to paste code, nor will I paste any code. So please don't ask for that. However, I will try to give a few gentle hints. I'm going to give hints that are obtuse enough that don't make us run afoul of the contest rules. Right, so things like if you're not sure what the question is asking for, I'm happy to clarify on stream, but I will not be able to give you answers to any of the questions. So remember not to ask. I will give you hints though. Also, it's kind of fun to all work on contests together and compare scores. In the past, I think at least there was one time when one of my viewers actually did better than me, and I was really excited. That made me really happy. Alright, so we have 3 more minutes until it starts. Let's see. There's no one here right now. Hopefully we will come in. So to kill the time, I was actually working on a previous contest. This is the previous contest question. This is from contest number 309. Let's see if you can finish it within 3 minutes. Do you prefer C++? Hi, Rocking. Welcome to the channel. Welcome, welcome. I actually do not prefer C++. So it depends on what I'm doing. If I'm doing my day job is I teach at a university. So when I'm teaching, I teach my students Python. When I'm working on LeetCode problems, I also use Python. And actually, for most small programming projects, I greatly prefer Python, especially ML projects. If I were to build a more serious project, I think I would probably use Java because that's the language that I'm more comfortable with. Java also has huge library support for basically anything you want to do. I don't know Python library that well, but Java library basically you can get, you can do whatever you want. C++ has an equally powerful set of libraries, but C++ as a language has a lot of quirks. So if you're not an expert at C++, you will run a file of very, very small rules, and sometimes you won't even realize you're doing the wrong thing in C++. They have very subtle quirks in C++, especially when it comes to memory management. Okay, so the contest is begin. Good luck, everybody. I'm going to turn off my screen right now. If you're not joining the contest, go ahead and do that. And we'll talk in about 1.5 hours for the question discussion. Hmm. Welcome, welcome. Those of you who just joined us, remember to register for the contest. I think you can still get on. I'm not sure. I think you can still get on at this point. Hop on to the contest, and we will all be working on it until I guess in another 1.5 hours from now. So see you in a bit. Huh. The questions today, I find them a little bit annoying because they are worded in a very convoluted way. They are hard to understand. Welcome, welcome. I see a few more folks have joined the chat, even though they're not actually technically chatting. I hope that you are working on the contest. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. I won't be able to provide answers, but I can give you some hints or I can clarify what the question is asking for. And we will be discussing solutions in about an hour and 10 minutes after the contest ends. For the second question, hello Rocking. Let me see. For the second question, how to pass test case for zero index. You mean example 2? I'm not quite sure what you mean by zero index. For example 2, for example 2, A and B are both the single character A. So A occurs only in 0. B also occurs only in 0. And so if you look at the occurrences of A occurs only in the first position, and that's close enough to an occurrence of B. Yeah, this field output. Yeah, I'm not super sure about this. I'll probably have to look at your code to find out. And we can only do that during this discussion because I'm not allowed to share answers during the contest itself. But keep working on it. I suspect there might be some logic error with the way you implemented your program. So if you try different combinations, you just play around, write your own string. You can try like a quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog or whatever random string. And then play around with A and B, and you check that. Just don't worry about example 2. Make your own example. Check that your code is working as you expected it to. I hope that helps a bit. I'm not sure if it does, but I'm happy to look at your code after the contest ends. this is your first contest and can't see the test case. So the thing about the test case is you can use the test case. You can see what you can't do is you can't find the answer to the test case. So if you click on the use example test case button, that will copy all the example test cases that you see in the question onto the little box there. And when you press run code, it will actually run what you need to run. I hope that helps a little bit. You won't be able to know if the answer is correct, so you have to manually check them yourself. Okay. Hello, everybody who just joined us. Welcome, welcome. We are doing the weekly contest 380. Unfortunately, we will not be sharing our screen while the contest is running because I'm not supposed to share code during the contest. But after the contest ends, we'll go have a discussion and go through all the problems in the contest. In the meantime, I hope that you guys are having better luck with the contest than I am. I'm still stuck on one of the questions. If you need help, feel free to comment in the chat and I will try to give you some hints. I won't be able to give you any code though, so don't ask for that. Okay. Hi Farouk and Amrit Tanshu. I hope I'm getting your names right. Welcome to the chat. Welcome. C is quite tough. I never recommend C. So C is tough because of pointer arithmetic. And I think the thing I really hate about C is that they don't use a lot of the modern programming conventions that you see. Even C++ does a better job. C++ has better iterator support, has more library support for things like strings. C still forces you to use character pointer. As far as I know, I'm not a C expert. And that's really good if you want to optimize things. I don't like C at all. I really, really do not like C. And Amrit Tanshu, so sorry again for butchering your name. Can you show the first code? I can't show you the program solution during the contest itself, but we will go through the answers at the end of the contest. That's going to happen in about 1 hour. So work on the problem, hang on tight, and we'll talk about it after the contest. Yeah, for the first question is actually not, I don't think it's that difficult. So I'm going to encourage you to try and solve it yourself. So think about it this way. You need to find the total frequencies of elements. You read the question carefully. What is asking you? Step 1, you need to find total frequencies of everything. All the numbers, 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 4. You need to find for each number how many times it occurs. That's called the frequency. So first step is you need to find total frequencies for all the numbers. And then second step, such that all these, you have to find who have the maximum frequencies. Find everybody, you find out what the maximum frequencies is, and then find out what it is, who has it. So 3 steps. 1, calculate everybody's frequency, find out what the maximum frequency is, and then once you've done that, find out who are the people with the maximum frequency. And the last part is a bit tricky. It says here frequency of element is number of occurrences. The thing that you have to return is the total number of elements in nums. So you have to do a little bit of math. I can't tell you the answer, but I'll go through that in about an hour. I hope that's helpful. We'll try the last one though. Last one is pretty hard. I'm actually stuck on the last one. So yeah, the last one seems pretty hard. I think I'm gonna get it soon. So maybe Farouk, you have better luck than me. I got the right answer, but my answer is apparently still too slow. So I need to find out how to make it faster. How to optimize the last question compared to the second. So, Celine Jiang, welcome to the chat. I'm actually still thinking about it too. I'm thinking about it myself. I have some strategies. I have a strategy, but it doesn't seem to be fast enough. So I'm trying some tricks. Trying a binary search, but that doesn't seem fast enough. Interesting. Hi Hassan, please explain the first question. So I will do that after the contest ends. Okay, I'll give you some hints. I can't show you the code until after the contest ends. So for first question, what you want to do is count elements with maximum frequency. So you look at the numbers they give you. They're going to give you a bunch of numbers, right? So if you read the question carefully, you actually have to do a few things. First, you need to find out what the frequencies of the elements are. You need to find out how many times for each of these numbers, like 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 4. You need to find out for each number how many times it occurs in nums. That's the frequency, right? You have to calculate everybody's frequency. That's step 1. Step 2, you have to find everybody who have the maximum frequency. In example 1, you have 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 4. The frequency of 1 is 2. The frequency of 2 is also 2. It appears twice. The frequencies of 3 and 4 are 1 because they only appear once. And next step, you need to find out who are the maximum frequencies. So 1 and 2 have maximum frequencies. And finally you need to figure out the total number of elements in the array with maximum frequency, which is 4, which is essentially the number of elements with frequencies multiplied by their frequency. So we store the frequency of everybody in a map. Yep. That's a great direction. Yeah, I think you're on the right track. I can't tell you any more than that. And I'm gonna also ask you not to paste any code in the chat, but Hassan, you are definitely in the right track. So good job. Keep going. Welcome, welcome. For those of you who just joined us, feel free to ask questions in the chat. I will get back to you when I can. I still have not finished the contest myself, so I may not be able to give you answers for all of them. But ask, and I'll try my best. And even for the questions I have finished, I may not be able to give you an answer. Hi, Yuvraj. Unfortunately, I don't have the third question for you. I'm actually working on the fourth one. Because it's looks like a variation of the second one. That's why I started working on it. I would once I finish the fourth one, then I'll work on the third one. So hang in there. Hopefully I'll be able to do that before the contest ends. But either way, we'll talk about it after the contest ends. I have some ideas around it, but I'm not sure if I have the right answer. half. Hi, A. Oh, you're getting TLE in second even though you use sets? That is very interesting. You sure you're not getting TLE in the fourth? Because the fourth is the one that kills you on time. For second is interesting. I think when I tried it, I used a very, very ineffective, efficient solution. And I didn't get TLE. We'll look at it afterwards. For purpose, I think you're probably right. Yeah, you're probably right. I have an efficient way of finding if there's a B near A, but I don't have an efficient way of finding all occurrences of a string within a longer string for exactly the reasons you mentioned, which is when the string itself is like a parallel of it. The string is a parallel of itself. We'll go through that later in the answers. That is actually a very interesting. This is a very interesting problem. I never thought about it this way before. But we'll talk about it in answers. Why I believe the KMP algorithm works and why a more naive method will not work. So another 40 minutes before we get to answers. And by the way, folks, just to remind everybody, shameless plug, if you enjoy my contents, please like and subscribe. It helps a lot for small content creators like me. Help us keep going. If you don't like my contents, you obviously don't have to do that. But I do hope that, at least you're enjoying this session that we have together where everybody gets together and do some LeetCode problems. Right now I'm working on question 3. Hopefully I can get it. I have an idea for how to do question 3, but hopefully I can get it done before the end of the contest so we can discuss the answers together. Size of bucket equals bit length minus count bits. If you're still stuck on question 1 or 2, don't worry, I gotcha. We got you as a whole team. We'll talk about it in about 19 minutes when the contest ends. Hey, Swastik, welcome, welcome. I've not tried the KMP solution. I'm gonna guess that KMP allows you to figure out where all the A's and all the B's occur. There's the second part that requires you to find where they overlap. So that part I don't know how you implemented that part, but you might want to use some kind of binary search for that part if it's slow. So I'm not sure which part is calling the TLE for you. So there's KMP, thanks to for purpose, for finding where all the A's and B's are, and then the second part you need to use some kind of binary search. At least that's the way I did it. Oh, one E9 and one E15 is pretty big. You're welcome, Swastik. I actually recognize your name. I think this might be a second or third time I see you in this channel. Welcome back. I'm very grateful for your support. I'm very grateful to everybody who shows up. If you do enjoy my content, I hope that people would like and subscribe. It really helps a lot for small content creators like me. So Sonu Lamba, you've done the third. So one E9 and one E15 is pretty good. It's a pretty big difference. One E9, I think you can still use a brute force solution. One E15, you can't. So 10 to power 15, you can't. You have to do some math to do it. You have to do some mathematics to figure out to get you like most of the way there. The contest ended. Yep. That's it. I'm curious, Farouk and For Purpose, how far did you guys get? Did you guys manage to do all 4 questions? So Farouk, it sounds like you've been able to do question 4, right? And you're stuck on question 3. What about For Purpose? For Purpose may be our champion here. Well, we'll see how it goes. So, alright, cool. So the contest is ended. Thanks to everybody for participating. I'm going to share my screen and let's meet on Saturday. Well, yeah, I hope you guys come back every Saturday. So again, if you like my content, feel free to like and subscribe. Every bit helps. I know it's some kind of annoying to hear that. Anyway, alright, I think the contest ended. I will share my screen and we'll go through the answers. Or at least those answers that I'm personally able to do. I'm always excited when folks do better than me. So we'll see. I didn't manage to get very far in this competition actually. I'm actually not super happy. But let me adjust this a little bit. But I do hope that you guys did better. Okay. So cool. Let's start with question number 1. And we'll do this very quickly because I think most of you got it. Right? So question number 1 works like this. You're given an integer array 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 4, whatever, and you have to do a few things. The first thing you need to do is you have to find the total frequencies of elements in nums. So somebody talked about using a dictionary. That is actually your best bet for use a dictionary to find out what is the total frequency of all the elements in nums. That's 1. So second step, find out what is the max frequency. Third step, find out who has this max frequency. And the last thing you need to do is to count how many elements there are that has this max frequency. So let's take this 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 4 for example. Very simple. So what we want to do is we want to construct a dictionary. So let's say that 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 4. We want to construct a dictionary. So somewhere here, this for loop constructs the dictionary. Every time you see a 1, you just add 1 to it. You see a 2, you add 1 to it. You end up with let me just write this in proper English. So you get 2 1s, 2 2s, 3 appears 1, and 4 appear 1. So your max frequency, your max equals to 4. And the people who have max are 1 and 2. So 1 and 2 are the ones. So this is the part where I go through all the frequencies. I chase, if this is equals max, append it. And then I take the length of result. There's 2 things here. And then the last thing that needs to be done is multiply it by max. This is a little bit annoying because what it's asking you for is not how many distinct numbers. It's not asking you for how many of these guys have max frequency. It's asking for how many of these guys. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of these guys have max frequency. So to get from here to here, you just multiply the frequency. So since all of them have the same frequency. Yep. So that's it for question 1. It's not the most difficult question, so I want to just go through it very quickly. If you have questions, make sure to ask in the chat. So question number 2. Question number 2 is question number 2 is quite easy. Well, only did question 1. Okay, cool. Question number 2. What's going on in question number 2? It says find beautiful indices in a given array. So honestly, guys, I think the most difficult part for me was understand what the heck this question is asking about. What is this question asking about? It was so confusing for me. I tried my best to figure it out. Finally managed to figure it out. So this is what the question is asking about if you are just as confused as me. So you're given a very long string S, big S, the big string. You're given an A and you're given a B. These are two small strings, A and B. And so your job is to find all occurrences of A and B inside the long string. And then you have to find all occurrences of A which are less than k units away from AB. So let's see this in real motion. So you have a mine here, you have a mine here, you have two mines, okay? You have a squirrel here, and then you have one more squirrel here. I think that's all. Yeah. So after you step 1, you identify. So step 1, find all the A's and the B's. Find all the A's and B's. And then step 2 is for each A, check if there's a B that's close. Check B nearby. Right? This is what it's doing. What is your age, bro? I'm not going to tell my age. I'm very sorry about that. Although, if you want to tell us your age, you're more than welcome to do that. I'm always curious about how old my viewers are. I'm probably a lot older than you because I actually teach. Yeah, so I'm not a student anymore, unfortunately. So you have squirrel, mine, and basically what you want to do is you want to step 1, find all the A's and B's. Step 2, for each A, check if there's a B nearby. What do I mean by nearby? Well, it's less than k units away. So the start of a B must be less than k units away from an A for that A to count. So this is what I got. Okay? And this is what I started with. So step 1, I find all the occurrences of A in S. So the way I did it, which it turns out is not the best way, right? Is I did this. IDX equals S dot find A. This is a built-in function in Python. You can use it also. And then I check if IDX not equals -1. -1 means that I can't find A. Then index A dot append IDX. I find a new A. IDX equals S dot find A IDX plus 1. So the difference between this line, S find A, and S find A IDX plus 1 means, this means find A starting from 0, from the beginning. Find any A, the first A. This means find the first A who starts after IDX plus 1. So if I found a squirrel here, my new IDX is IDX plus 1 is this Q. So I need to find a squirrel somewhere here. So this guarantees that I will not find the same squirrel again. Basically guarantees that I find a different squirrel. This, as it turns out, is so it works. So this gives me basically index A's. This index A is all the occurrences of A's. So in our example above, it will be this mine here, this mine here. Yeah. And then we do the same thing for B. So index B, I look like minor older than 18. Well, thank you very much, Coder. I'm actually more than yeah, you can double that. So I'm more I'm way older than 18, I can guarantee you. I'm well past 30. I'm well past 30. But thank you. You actually, that comment, like you look young, it's probably my favorite comment of all the comments here. So I do the same thing for index B, right? Index A. So at the end of this, index A would be mine and mine over here, and then index B will be this squirrel and this squirrel. So this finds all the occurrences of A and all the occurrences of B. So that's step 1. This is step 1. So step 2, what do? We go through all the occurrence of A, and then we search if there's a B somewhere near me. And so to do that, there's actually there are 2 ways you can do that. One is you can write your code like this. For A in index A, for B in index B, if B minus A absolute value smaller or equals to K, then blah 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 blah. So you can do it this way, okay? But the thing about doing it this way, the shortcoming is that it's a little bit slower because you can have a lot of B's. Here there are only 2 B's, but later on there's like thousands of B's. So what are you gonna do? What are you going to do if you do that? It will be slow. So what we want to do is use this thing called bisect. Bisect left, bisect right. Very, very useful functions in Python. If you like programming competitions. If you like programming competitions, and I strongly recommend you work in Python. And in Python, bisect left, bisect right is super useful. These are basically binary search. Bisect left means do a binary search, and if you, so for instance, like 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 10, whatever. So you have a sorted array. All of you guys know what binary search is, right? Binary search is a fast way of finding a thing. So if you have a sorted array, bisect is a binary search that helps you find it. So let's say you want to find 3, okay? So bisect left means find this thing, find a place to insert this thing, but put it as far left as possible. As far left as possible. So bisect left we'll put it here. If you do find 3, bisect left 3 would be here, and bisect right will be here. And so bisect left and right only matters if the number that you're finding exists in the array. If it doesn't exist in the array, right? If it's like this, then bisect left and right is exactly the same place. Okay? So bisect left will put it as far left as possible, and bisect right will put it as far right as possible. This is only true if you have the exact place in the exact number in your array. Okay? So once you've done that, you can just check if bisect left and bisect left is smaller than bisect right. That tells me, aha, I have actually found at least one number, at least one occurrence of B that is close to A, that is between A minus K and A plus K. So A minus K and A plus K. So for instance, let's say squirrel is here. Okay, A minus, so A is this S over here. So A minus K is like somewhere here, and then A plus K is like somewhere here. So I'm looking for a B, and I actually have it. Is this mine over here? Okay, cool. So I hope that was helpful. Let's go on to question number 3. Okay, and by the way, if you run this actually runs, it gives you the right answer. It doesn't TLE because the data set used for question 2 is only 10 to the power 5, 10 to the power 5, which is fairly small. You can do a nested loop in 10 to the power 5. It's not a problem at all. In fact, I think 10 to the power 5 is the largest number that you can do a nested loop. Any larger than that, 10 to the power 6, nested loop will fail. Okay, so this. Question number 3. Question number 3. I did not manage to get the right answer in time, but I'm pretty sure I have the right intuition. Let's go through what the question is saying. So you're given integer k and an integer x. Okay? Consider s is the binary representation of a number. The price of a number is all the bits, all the ones in num, but they're at x intervals apart. x interval for part. So for instance, if you have a number like this, 1 0 0 1 0 1 0 1 1, if your x equals 2, then you're looking at this, 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 and this, and your price would be 4. So it's all the bits separated by x, right? So this is the number of i's in the index, such that I modulo x equals to 0. So the second, fourth, sixth, eighth. Yep. Okay, so this is how you, right? This is how we're gonna do it. Okay, so the idea here is that we're gonna say, okay, hey, we want to return the greatest number num such that the sum of prices of all numbers from 1 to num is less than or equals to k. Well, how do you do that? Well, there's a naive method to do it, right? There's a naive method to do it, which I think some of you did and end up with TLE, which is you start from 1 and you go to 2 and you go to 3. For every number, you calculate the price. And you can do that by doing a binary representation. You take out all the, x interval bits and then you count them up. And that will work. That's perfect. That will work. Okay? But that is slow. That is slow. If you look at the numbers that you have to deal with, k is between 1 and 10 to the power 15. This is 10 to the power 15. It's a huge number. It's an incredibly large number. You cannot do a for loop from 10 to the power 15 in LeetCode. If you just do for I in range 10 to the power 15, this thing with TLE, this will be too slow. So you have to do something else that's a little bit more clever. And so this is my intuition, right? This is my intuition. Guys, and let me know if this makes sense to you. Okay? We are going to look at each length. We're gonna say okay, we're gonna say let's say x equals to 3. Okay? Or let me erase that. Let's say x equals to 2. Okay, so we're gonna do some calculation for each length. So for numbers that are of length 1, we have 0 and we have 1, and the total number price is always going to be 0 because they're less than 2. So when the length is 1, the total price for all numbers with length is 1 is 0. Okay? Now, when length is 2, you have 0, 1. Oh, sorry. There's no 0, 1. When length is 2, you have 1, 0. You have 1, 1. Okay? The total number here is going to be how do I write this, and the total number is going to be 1. Okay, so let's say your length, let's just jump ahead a little bit. Let's say x equals to 2 and then length equals to 4. So when length is equals to 4, right, how many do we have? 0 0 1 0 0 1 0 1. Oh, one more. 0 0 0 0, which doesn't do anything for us. So 0 1 1 0 0 1 1 1. Let me see. Did I get all of them? No, I did not. 0 1 1. Okay, that's like 0 1 0 1 1 and 0 1 0 0. Okay, so you have 8 numbers when length is equals to 4, right? You have 16 numbers. So what happens? You just look at the second and the fourth bit, right? You're looking at the second and fourth bit. So use this. So you have basically 1 2 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You have 8 total. Okay? So you're starting to see a pattern emerge. Right? You're starting to see a pattern emerge. And so that's the pattern that we're going to use. Essentially, there's a formula that that maps from x and the length of the number, and it gives you what is the total price of all of them. Okay? There's a mathematical formula here. So the thing is, I've not worked out a mathematical formula, but I believe, based on empirical data, it's something like x times 2 to the power of something. Not quite sure what this is. I have to figure it out. So it's x times 2 to the power of something. And I think this something is like this n minus x or something like that. Something like that. I'm not quite sure. So it's x times 2 to the power of n minus x. Something like to that extent. Okay, so what that does for us is essentially, so you have to ignore all this. So essentially, I did all this to calculate this formula here. Okay, so all this is actually wasted code. I don't have to do it this way. Essentially, all this will give me this formula here. So you give me this formula here. I have to replace it. And then what I have to do is I have to say, okay, well, when if I take all the 4-digit numbers, when x is whatever x is, have I reached k? Well, no, I've not reached k. Well, in that case, let me take all the 5-digit numbers and I check, have I reached k? And I keep going there. I keep going until I reach a point where adding one more digit will not, how do I say, will cause me to bust open k. So in that case, what I have to do is do some recursion. I have to subtract basically the first digit, and then I have to beat back down. I have to go back down to the previous to essentially the previous calculation, and try and do some recursion and try and figure out what the actual number is. So this one is actually a math problem. I don't like it. I don't like these. They tend to be math problem disguised as programming problems. So, okay. Question number 4. Question number 4 is the hard one that I think a lot of people got stuck at. Actually, question number 3 is the hard one. Question number 4 is just like question number 2. Okay? So, question number 4 is just like question number 2. If you know question 2, you know question 4. It's generally the same idea. However, if you use question 2, the answer, and you run it in question 4, you run into trouble. There are 2 reasons for this. One is you need to do this bisect here. This bisect makes your code a lot more efficient because you're dealing with 10 to the power of 5. Basically, I don't think this works if you do like a nested for loop. Yeah, at least you can do multiple nested for loops. So you need this to do the binary search here. We talked about that in question 2. So binary search, you get all the A's and all the B's and you do a binary search. The next thing you need to do is actually this part. So the way I wrote this part, I did a normal brute force search. And this works when I don't care about the time or when the size of A and B, S and K, whatever, are very small. When the size of S and K are very large, then I can't do this. I can't do this anymore. So I would actually have to use, I think somebody mentioned this in chat, the KMP algorithm. So this is the one. So KMP algorithm would allow you to find all occurrences of this A inside S quickly. And this KMP, basically my understanding is that it helps you overcome the sort of perverse cases where A is a repeat of itself. So imagine if S It's like A, forever. And A equals to A. Well, if I run this algorithm, this will be A, this will be A, this will be A, and it keeps on going forever. This is a very large number, right? This is fairly large. This S string is extremely large. It is 10 to the power 5. So this is, this is going to be a nightmare. This is going to leave me with a very large, with this index is going to be super large. And that's not going to be fun. So instead, what one of our viewers suggested is to run this KMP algorithm. I've not tried it out myself. I suspect that this is the thing that's going to help. I'm not super sure. I was looking at the wrong one. I was wondering why is the number so small? Yes. So the problem actually is not s.length. The problem is a.length and b.length. When a.length and b.length are very big. When a.length and b.length, this calculation that I have, the original one that I have, like this one over here, this has time complexity O, length of b times length of s. This is the time complexity for this. Because this is going to be large, and this is also large, here, this thing basically fails. In part 1, this thing is only 10. So you get 10 times this is 10 to the power 5. So 10 times 10 to the power 5, easy peasy. You can just run it, right? No problem. But 10 to the power 5 times 10 to the power 5, that's not going to work. So that's the part that actually fails. So I'm pretty sure that if you run this KMP algorithm, it's going to work. I will try it myself on my own time after the contest ends and see whether that will actually work for people. Okay, so that's basically it. Let me see. I don't know who else. Let me see if there's anybody else in chat who wants to ask questions. This would be the time to do it. I don't see anything else in chat. Okay. Well, in that case, thanks a lot. Yeah, work. Thank you, Farouk. Thank you. So, Farouk, did you manage to do all 4 questions? Or did you get stuck on question 3? I'm just curious if you're willing to share. So coder, if you want to increase your viewers' code in live videos, don't hide the code. Unfortunately, I can't do that because this is after all LeetCode competition. S.find function involved internally used KMP algorithm. I'm not sure about that. Maybe S.find iter, because yeah, that's a good question. I'm not sure about that because I feel like if I'm finding the first thing, then I don't actually care. I'm not sure about that. That's a good question. I have to think about it a little bit, Aniket. Yeah. I don't know. I have to figure it out. Yeah. Yeah, I got stuck on question 3. Yeah, this is a hard one. Actually, I looked at some of the weekly contests yesterday. Because so far, this is the first weekly contest I did. Before that, I always do bi-weekly contests. This is the first weekly contest. Most of the weekly contests seem easier than the bi-weekly contests. So I'm surprised that this is actually so hard. Question 3 is a hard one. I want to see if I can figure out a clean answer for question 3. If I can, I will post it as an addition, put it in GitHub or something and put it on the description of this video. So if you check back in a few days, or maybe check back next time you tune in next Saturday for the contest, which I will be doing the bi-weekly contest, then maybe you can find out what the right answer is. But either way, thanks a lot to everybody for showing up. If you like my contents, please like and subscribe. And even if you don't, just the fact that you guys show up in chat and talk, right? I appreciate all of you. And I think that's about it. Any other thoughts? If not, then I will be signing off. See you guys next Saturday. Bye bye.